Hello and welcome to the Kayden Show, today's best country mix. And joining us right here on the show today is Houston Bernard. Houston, how you doing?
Good. What's going on?
Just keeping busy, man. We're always moving and grooving. You know how that goes. How have you been?
Good. Doing about the same. Been pretty busy.
Yeah, you've been busy for sure. So you have a brand new song that's going to be coming out in just a few days on April 11th called Wild in Me. Tell us more about it.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. I've been posting like crazy about it. Um, I'm pretty excited. This is a bunch of new songs I recorded back in December, and I'm going to be releasing a seven-song album this year. I've already released two of those songs from the album, "Dancing in the Dirt" and "Die Before I Let You Down." And this song, "Wild in Me." Uh, the writers on it, I wasn't a writer on this particular song, but the writers on it also were the writers, is Braden Counts and Jason Hamore. And they were also writers on my song American Dream that I released. And one of my favorite songs to sing is Don't Feel Like a Livin'. I love singing that song as well. But they wrote those two songs, all three of those songs actually. So Wild and Me is basically about, being tamed, wild wild stallion out there rambling away on the road and doing the thing, and then you're finding a partner that just kind of completes you and takes that wild, crazy energy that you have and puts it in a good place to better your life. That kind of thing. That's really what it's about and what inspired me to record it. And at first, I wasn't sold, to be honest with you, because the demo was you know, the demo versions are sometimes different. I was like, oh, this is pretty good. I was trying to pick because I want to, record a lot of my own music, and then I always look for songs from people that I admire as writers. And so at first I wasn't really into it, but I just listened to the words over and over again. I was like, this, I'm really feeling this. So pretty excited about it, and I'm really excited about the music as well. It's produced by Bill McDermott, and got some great musicians on them. I wish I could tell you all their names, but I can tell you this: the guitar player is Jason Aldean's studio guitar player, and when I was recording the keyboard player the next day, he was going off to tour with Post Malone. So they're quality, high quality, sought after musicians, and the recording is great.
Well, congratulations on all that. We can't
Thanks.
wait to share that out on April 11th here on the King Gordon Show, today's best country mix. So, why don't we get started with the show a little bit and tell us a little bit more for those that may not know anything about you. Tell us your story and how you got started in music.
Wow. I mean, the story goes a long way back. Um, I'll just tell you, my father and uncle were country musicians, and they performed for many years. Reba recorded one of my uncle's songs. They used to tour with Dave Dudley, Wanda Jackson, people like that. So in Oklahoma, I was born in Oklahoma, and then my uncle spent his life in Nashville basically until he passed a couple decades ago. But coming from that background, and my mom is from Worcester, Massachusetts, and my dad met her touring, so I had an interesting perspective, a northeastern perspective, and then we lived in Alaska while my dad was in the military, so I got a Alaskan perspective, that really survival instinct kind of vibe, and then I've got a southern perspective as well. I've spent a lot of time in Texas, and of course my roots are in Oklahoma. So my perspective, and then I travel performing in Europe and stuff like that. So I have a more of a worldview, and especially at a time right now, it's really nice to have kind of a worldview when when news is so tainted and slight, you don't know what real is anymore. But I started performing when I was very young, about 12 years old. I started singing in malls in Alaska, and I'm actually pretty excited because I'm going back to perform at the Alaska State Fair this year, and I have never been back to perform, so it's really a full circle for me. I'm pretty excited about that. Growing up in Alaska, the Alaska State Fair was the place to go. So, and it was only one time a year in the August, a couple weeks in August. So I'm pretty excited about that. But I've released, this will be my seventh country album. I've done a lot of different styles of music. And when I thought I was done with music, around 2011, I thought I had exhausted all of my creativity and I've traveled a bunch. I lived in New York City, and then I was like, you know what? I haven't really played country music. I like country music, and so, but the only kind of music I could stomach was outlaw music, outlaw country. So I
Mhm.
started an outlaw country band, and then from there I started writing. And then my agent says, hey, actually, she says, hey, if you learn some more modern songs, I can get more gigs. I'm like, well, more gigs sounds good. So I picked up some modern songs, and then next thing you know, I'm writing, and next thing you know, we're opening up for national acts. Next thing you know, my band turns into mainly a solo project, which kind of was in the beginning. But and then I'm just recording album after album. I got a manager around 2019, and she really helped kind of reel me in and focus my energy of because I like a lot of different styles of music, so I'm all over the place.
Mhm.
But really helped me focus what I want to say and kind of the brand of who I am and being as authentic and honest as possible without confusing people, which is really easy to do. And 1 second I'm listening to this and that, whatever. But yes, I mean that's pretty much it. And I just keep going. I've had a lot of great opportunities last year. I never won any awards, and last year I won a Josie Award down in Nashville. I got to give an acceptance speech on the Opry stage in that circle. It was pretty awesome for me. And then I also won. I've been living up in New England, so I have Country Act of the Year. I won, and it's funny because I've been nominated for a decade, and a bunch of musician friends who I don't play with any longer, but they're like, "Yeah, about time, man." I'm like, "What do you want me to do? I don't know. I don't have any say over it." But it was nice to be recognized, and I got it up on my wall. Anytime you're recognized for any hard work you've done, especially when you've been doing it a very long time, is a very nice thing and a little humbling. And because after a while, I'll be honest with you, after a while, you look at these awards and you don't get any awards, you're like, how valid are these awards really?
Right,
And they start
right.
making these reasons why they're not valid. Why would that person, or like who's voting for these? Why do we vote anyway? Because it's really just a board, all these reasons. And it's like, yeah, whatever. Uh, and so it was just nice to be recognized. And once you win, you go, see, they know what they're doing. Your perspective changes a little. I don't know if you're a crazy artist like myself.
Definitely for sure. Now, people want to learn more about you. Where can they find you?
Best place is HoustonBernard.com. Houston like the city, Bernard like the saint. And yes, that's my real name. People ask me that a lot. It's a family name, goes back a couple of generations. But that's the best place to go. But I've been doing a lot of YouTube videos. I've been doing weekly now. I used to do two a week. That's exhausting. Now it's getting
Mhm.
busy with shows. So I do YouTube is a good place to go. And, I try to stay on the socials as much as I can. But really, just come to the show, hang out. I'll say hi to everybody. I've got a text app that I stay in touch with people. Um, that's a 615-527-8756 number. It's on all my socials, so you can always text me and get updates and stuff like that.
That's amazing. Houston, is there anything that I forgot to mention that you'd like to mention before we go today?
Um, Gosh, that's a good question. I don't know. I'm just pretty excited about the new music I'm going to be putting out. I have a couple albums recorded, and I'm releasing the seventh one. I've got an eighth one as well, but that'll be coming up. But Wild and Me is the new single. If people want to help launch that, pre-save it. That's how we do it. Thank you.
Houston Bernard, thank you so much for taking the time to come on the Kid Gordon Show, today's Best Country Mix. Always a pleasure to have you on the show. And when you get a new song, let us know. And we'll definitely be playing it over here and hopefully have you on the show again real soon.
That sounds great, Kayden. Thank you so much.